and knowing you inside and out. But so beautiful and such a beautiful singer. You should be on The Voice. That's right.
Hey, I gotta get my good looks from somewhere. So.
Melissa, come up here with me, please. Yeah, I don't know where Melissa lives now. Last time I went to Melissa's house, it was in Nashville.
Yes.
Yeah, lived in Nashville, and your mom's not with us anymore, and I'm so sorry about that. How have you been?
I'm good.
So what's going on? Where are you living?
I live in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, I know it.
It's in the east part of the state in the Smoky Mountains.
And what are you doing these days?
Oh man, I have a boring job. I'm a project manager for a healthcare consulting company. Oh wow. But I sing karaoke still. Amen. Yeah, I'm gonna start singing with church.
Well, you are a great little singer.
Well, thanks.
And a pretty little girl. You've always been beautiful. Yeah.
And sweet.
And so you have a family?
Just me. 2 cats.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very good. Well, when did you get in?
I got in last night.
Very good. Well, we're so glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm representing the whole state. I'll sing at some point.
And Brian, all I'm going to say, she's got a big surprise for this evening.
Okay. All right. Very good.
With a special
So good to see
dedication.
you.
All right, who's next?
I don't know. We're going to be a little informal today, this afternoon. And, it was so interesting. I mean, if you read my dedication to Dean last night, or this morning, I spent a lot of time with her. I was at her house like 4 nights a week. The neighbors were going, "Who is your boyfriend?" Because be there till 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. We'd watch movies. I think the funniest was, without a doubt, Kathy Bates and Misery. I mean, oh no, turn it off, I can't watch this. We did that like 100 times. We almost never got through it. We laughed till we cried because I was so scared. It was hysterical. But it was so fun sitting with Dean, and I heard all the stories a million times. I can tell her stories better than her, probably. Really and truly. And they are so good. But, Dean always seemed to just have a lot of life. Everywhere she went, she lit up the room, and people were drawn to her. No matter where we went, they came over to talk to Dean. And I remember Renee and all of my students, "You got to meet Miss Dean, you got to meet Miss Dean." And I think they were telling her the same thing, and then we finally met, and it was an instant love affair. And then I walked into the pageant, and they had just announced Billy Joe, which you read about that. And the next, I guess about a week or so later, after the national pageant, I went over to her house. I had called her and asked her if I could come by, and I wanted to be an Imperial director. And so I did, and ended up having 5 pageants a year, and the largest pageant Imperial ever had, and it was just a lot of fun. But the really amazing thing was whenever someone felt less than, or whenever they didn't have a support system or encouragement, Dean put her hand out and lifted them. And she's a dream maker. She made so many dreams come true. And it was a pure love affair for her to do that. To see the children's eyes sparkle, to see them come to life. And you guys remember, we saw miracle after miracle. I remember little Amanda Palmer, one of my twirling students. I mean, bless her heart, she could hardly twirl. She was like kind of new. And she went to the state pageant, and I think she got second. She did Rockin' Robin and had the little feathers, and it was so cute. And we came back, was nationals maybe 6 weeks after state. Okay, she could twirl. Spinning like a top. I went, "When did that happen?" She said, "We went home," and her mother said, "We went home and started practicing." Amanda wanted that crown, and she got it. It was amazing. I mean, I had never had a student advance that quickly But the dream that Imperial was, for so many of us, created pure magic and miracles. And to watch it, and because I was older, so when I came into it, you know, I had already won national twirling, although I was the first Mr. America, but you know, I didn't start as a little child in it. And so to be able to stand back and look at the children as Dean was doing, and you know, it was just, she gave it her all. It was just so beautiful to watch and to see so many people prosper so much. Now, we're not live on Facebook or anything, are we?
We can be.
No, not right now. So we're not live.
We're not live.
Okay, so Mary Elizabeth Reynolds. Okay, this is so damn funny. I don't know what she did for talent. She was like a foot tall, and I think she said the ABCs, or Mary had a little lamb or something, and she was so cute. I missed it. I came by the next year. But anyway, you remember how they announced the talent winner? They said, and first runner-up is, and they would play the music of the winner. So we were all dying to hear our music. Yes. Mary Elizabeth's mother had gone and picked her tape up. So they had to ask her for her tape back. They needed it. So Dean said, okay, girl, listen. If you ever go pick your tape up again before the pageant's over, she's disqualified no matter what place she is. You get it? She never picked her tape up again. Till it was over. And I think she might have won again. I don't remember, but yeah. It was the funny things that happened.
Her mother wanted to know that she had won before the finals.
Yeah, you can hear your boot boot when you get the trophy like everyone else, girl. Sit back. So anyway, it was just fun
But
days.
she's a darling girl, and I did hear from her this week.
Yeah.
She's a woman and a mother now.
She was a pretty little girl. Her mother was hilarious. I mean, really and truly, she was kind of ingenious. I mean, that was pretty smart to think of that.
Sneaky way.
She couldn't fool her.
Well, you know, I was teaching twirling, and I'm producing champions all over the country. They fly all over to see me, and I noticed my students who looked better, scored better. If your mother knew how to sew and you had a pretty costume, you scored better. If you knew how to do hair and makeup, even though it was worn up, there still it can look bad, you know. Yeah.
Except if you were the fridges, and her mother didn't sew, and they didn't have money, and their clothes, Dean told me one time, she said they won in spite of their clothes.
I know.
And
You know.
she doesn't cook.
And I don't cook. That's true.
She types.
Yeah, she
Yeah. So
She shows up.
I loved making costumes, so I made a lot of my students costumes, and you know, I was grooming them, and I said, I gotta get this together, you know. And it was so interesting because, you know, I'd see kids and they're like, you know, like really great, but they look like a ragamuffin. And so they're ready to go out, you know, and man, they whip that thing up and they have 2 drops and they go, I'm not surprised they dropped. They just don't look like they've been doing it that long. They, you know, you can tell. And then here's my little beginner, her first contest, and you know, she's like this, and the hair is perfect, and the little crown, and the makeup's perfect, the costume's perfect, and she has 5 drops. She's having a bad day. Let's give her the score she would have gotten. And you know, my students started winning. It's like, even though I could teach twirling, they really started winning. I mean, no one could get the look, and it had a look. And I said, Diane Lowry was one of my older students, and she was helping with the makeup and all. But you know, it was just not that upper level. And of course, I've seen Cookie make a dog stop barking. I mean, really and truly. And I said, Cookie, would you teach me how to do makeup? So one day we had about a 4 or 5 hour lesson at Dean's kitchen table, and Dean was my model. And she was in town for a while, so I think I had about 3 lessons over the next 2 weeks. I went back for my second lesson. She said, okay, start with the foundation. I went, oh my God, what's the foundation? She said, Okay. Really, I was so nervous to do makeup in front of her. And then I was so terrified, I never would have touched her face because she was one of the most brilliant makeup artists I've ever seen. And we were talking just a few months ago, and I said, what are you doing these days, and this and that, and I said, come in and let me give you a facial, because I won the world champion facialist 3 times, and I said, come in and let me give you a facial, and then I'm going to do your makeup, just to pamper you, because I've been trained by now the best makeup artists from all over the world for the last 5 years. And so I said, I just want to pamper you. And so I got to do her makeup for the first time. And I was, a little nervous, but because she's so magnificent, Cookie does this and it blends and you're like, oh my God. and so since then, I've done makeup all over the world. And I was the makeup artist for the Houston Rodeo for 5 years. And so my last performance was Selena. So I was the last person to do Selena. And I did Reba and all of them, and it was amazing. And Miss USA, Miss Universe, and now that, I have over 1 million on social media, they're flying me all over the world. Hood of Beauty flew me to Dubai to make a video, and that all happened from a seed at your kitchen table because of the 2 of you. And you gave me my dreams. I don't even know how to say thank you for all of this. It's just too much. How do you say thank you?
You've given back.
So, Cookie, come on up.
I'll do it.
I was going to say thank you.
I gotta wear my glasses, guys, because tripping in front of everybody's not gonna be cool. But now I got to be done by the best. He didn't do me today, but I want at some point in time, I'm willing to, for the first time ever in public, share my before and after photo from this time in March with y'all. Because
I'll do it tonight.
if anybody put your glasses on, if you can see what he did for me, it was just as much as what we ever started in him, but y'all gotta see this. Because it's been, I was supposed to do the facial, the whole program. I got 3, and then I was totally out. I had all kinds of sickness going on and surgery and all that. So I didn't even get a chance to practice all the fresh stuff that he was teaching me. So I'm a little rusty, so I'm gonna have to get another lesson. But y'all will see firsthand of how to get a total facelift from saggy eyelids, the hanging hair, no cute cheeks like I used to have. He can do that with this. He didn't wear this, but his fingers and all of his equipment, there's no more need to go to a plastic surgeon at all. Not that cut. You can cut maybe from here down, but not this. But it was
I'll
a
post the
miracle.
pictures tonight. And,
Y'all got to see this.
It's amazing. As we age, we lose the happiness in our expression. It just leaves our face. We just look like we're not happy. And it can come back. So I do microcurrent, the non-surgical facelift, and a bunch of other machines. And the eyes lift, the brows arch, the cheeks are back and pulled up and back. It's really shocking, I was 61 in February. So, just gotta keep pushing. And so, it was such an honor. It was, and I've never been money motivated. I love what I do, and I would do it. And so we worked 24 hours in 5 days. She was with me 24 hours in a 5-day period. And, we did a chemical peel, and we did everything for the décolleté, and then the makeup, and the crazy part, and you'll see it. The happiness, it looks like your happiness is gone. You just look like you're angry almost. This happens to all of us. And it changed instantly on the first day. And the second day when she was coming back and she did a selfie in the car, it was like, oh my God. And then the crazy part, 34 years ago, well, I guess 35 years ago, Cookie was runner-up first runner-up.